Hello, I'm Greg Holloway, and welcome to the Common Sense Texans video debate among the Republican gubernatorial candidates, Rick Perry, Kay Bailey Hutchison, and Deborah Medina. Each of the candidates will be presented with 10 questions that have been prepared by grassroots conservatives around the state. Now let's go to one of these questions right now.
Oh, I definitely think we need a scrubbing of our state budget, which has not been done in the last 10 years. In fact, our increase in the state budget has been 80%, 10% per year, even though the rate of inflation is less than 5%. So Governor Perry has presided over a huge increase in our state budget, and it needs to be scrubbed. What I would do is look at the areas where we need consolidation. We have so many state agencies that I think need to be consolidated to cut administrative costs. Number two, I think always across the board cuts are the best. You can cut administrative costs and you can cut travel costs, the things that are frills that are not needed for the services that we must give to our constituents should be cut. When I became state treasurer in 1991, I voluntarily cut my own budget 10%. No other state official was doing that, but I did it to try to set an example. At the same time, I increased the revenue that the state got when I was state treasurer higher than any state revenue from any treasurer in the history of our state. We raised over $1 billion for state taxpayers while we cut our own budget 10%. In addition, I submitted to the legislature a plan to cap state general obligation debt. They enacted the law that I had put forward as a plan. Representative Rob Janelle was the sponsor of the bill, and we today still have that in the law. It's a 5% cap on state general obligation debt, and that was something that I did to show fiscal responsibility and to try to prepare Texas for the future without debt.
We've asked the state agencies, and when I ask, that's a pretty strong message to those agencies that we have appointment authority and what have you. At a minimum, we'd like to see 5% reduction across the board, and we'll allow them to have the decision-making process about where those reductions would occur. But come back to us before the summer and say, here's where we would make the reductions, and get started on it now. Don't wait until the legislature comes in here and do the budget and what have you. Get started on those reductions now. We're doing it in the governor's office. We're going to be looking at all the other agencies. That's the start. We've got a record of making pretty substantial cuts in state government. Back in 2003, we had a $10 billion budget shortfall, and we addressed it. First time since World War II that we spent less general revenue money in a current budget than the previous budget was in 2003. And I'm proud of that, and we've done it one more time in 2009. So the point is, it can be done. Yes, it's tough, and you got to say no to a lot of special interest. But I tell people, I said, if Washington, D.C. would take the same tack that we've taken here in Texas and saying no to special interest, no to more spending, you know, our state budget is going to grow in a state that is growing, as Texas is. We're blessed in that sense. We've created an environment in the state where people want to live here. They know they can come and keep more of what they work hard for, and there's freedom in this state from over-taxation, over-litigation, over-regulation, and we got a good skilled workforce. So companies come here. Just this last week, Allstate announced 600 brand new jobs in Texas, and they are just another major company that have moved their operations, or some of their operations, to the state of Texas because they know that this is the land of opportunity in the state of Texas. So keeping those budgets under control in government, we have done it. You read almost daily, Wall Street Journal, Forbes magazine, The Economist, that Texas is the place that people want to be. CNBC, just the first 10 days in February, had a program where all day they were talking about Texas. First out of the recession, last in. That's the type of messages across the country that good budgeting and conservative fiscal policies have played very well for the state of Texas. So continuing to put the pressure on that budgeting process is part of what a governor does. I've done it before. Matter of fact, I kind of enjoy doing it.
I think the first thing that the state of Texas has got to do is re-look at where it is spending its money, our money, and how it is spending our money. The state of Texas currently spends the biggest portion of its resources on delivering health care. I've yet to meet a single individual that believes that's the #1 job of the state of Texas, and yet that is where we're spending the bulk of our resources. Meanwhile, our roads are suffering, our border is unsecure. Certainly, we've got to have accountability and transparency in state spending, but all we've been hearing out of Austin is that they need more money. They need more money so that we can have better roads. They need more money so that we can secure and protect our border. Before I cry for more money, before I ask you to give up $1 more from your family, I believe we need audit, accountability, and transparency. But more than that, we need excellence. There was a time when government was thought of as service. When you look at the goals and objectives of many of the departments of the state of Texas today, it is to provide more government. That's not the goal of government. It is to do limited functions. It is to make sure we have fair and just laws and that those laws are applied equally to everyone. We must look at term limits in our state legislature so that people are not corrupted by the absolute power of politics, but they go in to serve. They're not tempted to pass laws that favor one business or one industry over another. We create a fair and just set of laws in the state of Texas. We make sure those laws apply to everyone equally the same. We make sure that we're using the dollars that we take from the mouths of labor in this state, the dollars that we take from families, the dollars that we take from businesses are used in a transparent, auditable, accountable way, and that we function on the major jobs of state government. That would be criminal justice, border security, the equal application of the law, maintaining a road and infrastructure, addressing the water needs of the state of Texas. I look forward to serving Texans in these areas.